Hello, welcome once again, and get ready to know how to captivate your audience and have a great performance for all your content. My name is Xavier, I'm from Teleprompter.com, and today we're going to present you 7 psychological strategies on how to engage with your audience and create a better content. Now, why is this very important? As you know, you have all the tools, AI, you have the visual and sound effects, but remember that at the end of the day, there's somebody sitting behind that screen that has to press that button in order to subscribe. And you want to talk to those people, you want to engage them. And there are certain tricks that has been along for a while. Marketing people use it, different content creators use it. And with that said, we're going to start with number 1. Number 1 is cognitive biases. Now, what does this mean? Our brain is wired in order to respond to certain stimuli, but without us really thinking about it. It's not really a rational decision. So if you start looking back with a logical point of view, you're going to say, well, why did I do that the way I did it? It's our response to certain stimuli. We're going to see a couple of examples. Let's put number 1. One is called framing bias. Framing means that you're going to present something, but in a different way, just to portray or just to send a positive message. For example, you have a new drink, and that drink, if you want to portray it as healthy, you're going to say is 90% fat-free. You're not going to say it's 10% fat. So you have delivered the same message, but just framing it from a different point of view. The next one is called recency effect. That means that we tend to remember the latest information we have received. That's why you're going to see that at the very end of certain content, they're going to put their subscribe, like us, forward this, share this information. There are several of these bias attitudes that we have when we respond to certain stimuli. Again, there are too many to mention, but they're very important to keep into mind when you're going to be developing content, and you can get to use them. That's the best thing. Number 2 is emotional engagement. Now, what does this mean? It means that when you're going to portray the video, the kind of content that you're going to make, you want to elicit some kind of emotional response. Why is this important? Because first, this will create engagement with your viewer, and second, there will be something memorable. It's not going to be just a simple story that later on they will forget. Now, this engagement going through the emotions has 3 parts that I want to talk about. 3 of them are absolutely necessary to go together. The power of storytelling. Now, this power of storytelling is basically to whatever you're going to do, the content is, try to surround yourself with a story. Try to promote yourself with a story. In advertising, this will be called the reason to believe. It's basically your branding, why you are special, why you're unique. Now, there are 6 different areas or stages of how to tell a story. And we're going to go one by one very briefly. In order to do this, I'm going to use just one example, one that I saw about life coaching. I saw it the other day. It's quite an influencer, but I want to use that as an example, obviously without giving names. Let's start with the stages of storytelling, and there's a specific example that I'm going to give you. First, start strong. As a life coach, this person started with his story being very strong. When he was studying, he went for 2 years to India to live with the monks. That's quite a unique, strong story. After that, he had to establish relatable characters. His relatable character was himself. He used to be a student, a university student in London before all this started. That's why a lot of people can relate to him. I'm also a student. The third one is create an engaging conflict. Again, going back to example, his conflict was, I'm a student in a big university, but I found this new way of life, living with the monks. What should I do? Which style of living should I go for, or should I try to merge the two? That was a conflict he had with himself. Number 4 is to build dramatic tension. Okay, so once they had the conflict, what's going to happen? I have to decide right now to go back to university to keep studying, or just give up everything and follow my dream. That is something that you want to do to build up all this tension. And that will lead page 4, our last step, which is to find a satisfying resolution. The resolution is basically the last stage in which there's a happy ending, to say it in other words. With this happy ending, then the viewer will be captivated already and will be eager to find out what happens. Now, this story, this process should be communicated all the time, all along. It's not just like a one episode thing. This is your personal branding. Now, number 4 goes together with storytelling. It's the visual and auditory stimuli. By visual means the color, the graphics, the animations that you're gonna put into it. The auditory is the music, the soundtrack, the special effects. Now, all these things have to work together in order to portray a very good story that can be convincing and engaging for the audience. The 5th is the principle of scarcity. And you've seen this a lot of times. This basically means that if you portray that something is gonna end up soon and you can be one of the lucky ones to receive it, then this will be like a call of action for your viewers to engage in that desired behavior you want to elicit. You've seen this, for example, comes in the forms of only today, special sale, tomorrow will be 3 times more expensive. All these things are for you to feel that there's some kind of pressure or that is something exclusive that you can belong to. Usually people use these in order to have a call for action for you to act immediately. Number 6 is interactive elements. This basically means that you're giving the opportunity to your audience to interact with you. This is very important for engagement. Once they feel that there is a possibility of giving you feedback, they're gonna feel closer to the whole video, to the whole project. Number 7, and the last one, is personalization and authenticity. What does this mean? It's basically showing yourself as you are. Give a chance for the people to know you. Once this happens, they will form a bond with you. Even if you don't realize it, they will see you from different eyes, like somebody who just really presents themselves. So try to show yourself in a natural way. It doesn't mean that you have to stop following certain scripts that you have. You can still do that, but try to put a personal element to it. And with that said, those were the 7 psychological secrets that we have wanted to present to you. Feel free to research on your own. There's a lot of information available out there. And once again, thank you very much. Remember to subscribe and to check our app in the description. I'm Xavier from Teleprompter.com and see you soon.